Hello, and welcome back to Financial Freedom for the Average Person Expenses. But this time we're going to talk about banks. And in this, I'm going to do a discussion, but I'm also going to get into exercise number 9. And I'm going to show you tricks that I do, and I do this a lot, about getting in and out of bank accounts and using that to generate some additional income. All right, so first, a little bit about banks. Banks make an incredible amount of money. If you go into any city, you're going to notice the biggest buildings in the town are going to be the banks, the insurance companies, the churches, and the casinos. For me, the churches, or excuse me, the casinos are about the only one that I really have any fun with. But it's your opportunity where you would put the money. But many of the big banks that most people deal with, the Wells Fargo's, the Chase, Bank of America, Citibank, all of those have ridiculous fees for having checking and savings accounts, and then they pay you almost nothing on the money you leave there. Right now, it's 0.01%, and that's absolutely free. And there are a necessity though, and I do recommend that everybody does have a bank, or two or ten. Uh, but the main thing is there's so many people that are unbanked and they're living in cash, and those are the people that get in trouble. It's better to keep money in a bank, and also that's how you build up your credit, which becomes important when you want to buy things. All right, so finding a good bank because they're everywhere. You have the internet-based banks, Chime, Ally. Wow, one's an interesting one, and it's affiliated with Walmart, NASB, Western Alliance, many others. Then you have some, and most of those internet-based banks have no fees. Okay, so they're good to deal with, good to start with. Then you have the national banks that don't have fees. Capital One, they've been advertising that a lot. And if you're someplace that has a Capital One office, that might be good. Then there's national banks that'll waive the fees if you maintain a balance, you're a certain age, you have a military affiliation. A lot of them do military affiliation. Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America. And so there's a ton out there. So how do I get my offers? How do I pull this off? Okay. My go-to place typically is Doctor of Credit, and I actually get an email from Doctor Credit every day, kind of giving me a list of things that people have identified out there. NerdWallet is another great site. Bankrate is vital for many things you do, just like when we talked about the houses. That's a good one. And then you have these sites like MyPoints or Ekaton or Swagbucks. And lots of times you'll have links and they will actually pay you directly from there to open accounts. So it's always good to go through those before you spend any money. So let's take a look at the exercise number 9. We're going to find a bank and we're going to get paid for opening an account. So I'm going to go to the Doctor of Credit website and I'll look at the bank offers that they currently have. And we'll take out a piece of paper, write down the offers that are potentially eligible for. Some of them are state based. And then there's some requirements for the bonus. So maybe more of a direct deposit than you're able to do. And then you need to see what it takes to keep the account free. Pick the best option and then go open the account. And I make over $1,000 a year doing this, but I consider this kind of a game. So it's just something else I do for some free money. And then I usually go to one of those big buildings, the casino, and blow it. Okay, so I went to Doctor of Credit and I took a look at the offers for July of 26 for checking and savings accounts. So Chase offers a $900 bonus for checking and savings together, and you can get the fees waived. And I did this one. I didn't pick this one for this example just because it was complicated and it tied up a bunch of money. So that's not good starting. Chime, Dr. Credit has it up there for 425 with no fee. I did it last year. I thought that'd be a good one to take a look at. SoFi is also up there, another good one, 675, no fee. But there's tons of these. You open up the Doctor of Credit, and you're going to see 40 or 50 of these at least. Okay, main thing, make sure you follow the rules, make sure you get the fees waived. Okay, so we're going to do Chime, and I cancel this account, and I can redo the offer again. So when I go online, I couldn't find the 425, but I did find 350. and it's a new checking account, and it requires using their debit card, where they give you 10% back credit. So if you charge something for $50 and only 45 comes out of your account, and you get up to $100 of credit they will give you using that. Complicated, but if you use debit cards, it might work for you. Okay. And then the 250 is pretty simple. It's just $500 in direct deposit, and you need to get that in. I believe it's 45 days, but you want to check that closely, and you want to time it to make sure the 500 gets in there. Okay. And then I went through and checked with additional offers, bonuses from Swagbucks, MyPoints, Rakuten, and I couldn't find anything that would add on. That's what Dr. Credit was indicating. That if you went through like Swagbucks, you could pick up an extra $75 and then go from there. But that one looked the best to me. Okay, next, let's go find you a high yield savings account, no fees. Again, start with Doctor of Credit, and search under high yield savings accounts. Now, you could also be doing this on NerdWallet is another really good one to do. Bankrate's fine for doing this as well, but any of them will work. So then you do some research to pick one. In my case, I like Ally. I have to say, it's not on the list this month. They're on and off, but they're paying 3% and they're super easy to set up. Now, Ally is actually GMAC, or it used to be GMAC, and they switched the name to that. And if you may recognize the name Ally, because they do most of the leasing for cars, so it's a big company. And no fees for anything with them. After you open the account, no deposit required. You just link it to your other accounts. So if you open the account at Chime actually may be paying some decent interest too, but then you can just move the money back and forth. It takes usually just a day or two for the money to swing both ways, and then you can get the access to the higher interest rate, and also then you have the nice checking to go with it. And then rinse and repeat. Do these as many times as you want, and keep adding to your accounts, adding to the money that you. Bottom line, make sure your money is working for you. Do not pay bank fees. Banks make a ton of money off of everyday people, and you don't have to pay those fees. And when you start taking charge of your money and getting rid of these money leeches, you'll be just shocked as to how much more you can do, and how much further your money will go, and how quicker you can get to your goals. So that's it, and we're signing off now from Vegas. Now we've moved a little bit south from Salt Lake.